Accountability. Accountability. That is what I want us to think about and talk about on this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. Accountability. When you hear the word accountability, what comes to mind? Like last week that we spoke about personal responsibility, accountability often means responsibility. We can use personal responsibility and accountability as synonyms, all right? We can use them as explaining the same thing. But today I want to dwell on accountability, both as a person or in whatever form of service that we render. Accountability. This is the obligation or the willingness to accept responsibility for one's action. The obligation and the willingness. Those are two key words that I want us to think about this week. Do you feel a sense of obligation for you to take a responsibility for your actions? Do you feel a sense of obligation? Are you willing? Are you willing to accept responsibility for your actions? That means you are an accountable person. That means you are someone that we can say is accountable. So that's exactly what I want you to think about. This Minute with MinistaMike is a free coaching that I believe will help us as individuals to make our lives better. That's all it is. So I want you to think about this week. I want you to think about it today. Do you feel that sense of obligation to accept responsibility for your actions? Do you feel that willingness to accept responsibility for everything you've done, for what you've said, for what you've done, for what you will do, for what you are doing right now? Do you feel that sense of obligation, or you are apologizing because you can't? That is what people don't understand. That see, accountability is when you personally feel that sense of obligation that say, okay, what I did was wrong, and I'm accepting responsibility for it, and I will try my best not to make sure rather that it doesn't happen again. Are you willing to accept responsibility? So today, when you get to work and you did not do the right thing, or your effort is not yielding the result and you are scolded, do you accept responsibility for what you've done? Or you think your boss is picking on you, or you think your subordinates are just not helping you, or you think you are just someone that they don't understand. You know, most times we say that often these days. You just don't understand. You just don't understand. No. Your character is whack. It is your character that needs to be audited. Yes, I know some people might not understand you. I get it. Some people might find it difficult to really understand your personality. But the onus also lies on you to develop and grow. I'm not calling for perfection here. I'm not saying you should be perfect. I'm saying you should be better. In the last 5 years, are you better? In the last 2 years, are you better? In the last 1 year, are you better? In the last 6 months, 3 months, 2 weeks, 1 week, in the last 1 day, are you better? Can you look at yourself and say, I've been more responsible than before? Can you look at yourself and say, I've been more accountable for my actions, for my words, for my feelings, for my emotions? I have taken personal responsibility and I have become more accountable for how I feel. There are 4 things that I want you to think about when you hear the word accountability, and that is participation. You cannot be accountable if you don't even participate, and I mean participate with life here. Many people are running away from life because they don't just want to be accountable. And also evaluation. How can you keep account of what you've not evaluated? How can you hold yourself accountable when you've not even evaluated your action? That's what I want you to do this week. Go and evaluate your actions. Go and evaluate your words. Go and evaluate your thought process so that you will know how you will hold yourself accountable. And the third word is transparency. Are you open enough? Are you truthful enough? Are you transparent enough to be held accountable and to hold yourself accountable? And finally, do you have a feedback mechanism that you have put in place so that people will hold you accountable, or so that you'll be able to hold yourself accountable. Accountability. That is the word that I want you to think about, meditate about, act upon as you go about your daily activities, as you go about your weekly activities. Accountability. That is what I want you to go with this week. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.